Hey everybody, and welcome back to the FNG Racing channel. For some of you guys that are tuning in for the first time, my name's Riley Reed, former drag racer turned dirt racer. Haven't made a video in a few weeks, so
it's been 84 years.
Figured I might kind of explain why all that's been going on. No, I'm not quitting, but I have had a lot of stuff going on with work and my family. My son's birthday, he's been pretty sick here lately. My wife's been sick, I've been sick. It's just been kind of a rough time through and amongst the holidays and a little bit after. Just been really busy with a lot of other things, been spending some time with my family. Haven't really got a chance to work on the car very much. Kind of really in a downtime, to be honest, waiting for the motor to get back. I talked to Brady the other day. We should be on schedule to get the motor back probably sometime this week. This is the week of February 1st. So I'll be getting ready to put that thing back in and get the car going. Thought I would take an opportunity to make a video about why I quit drag racing. I know I mentioned it a little bit and kind of talked about it, but didn't really get very much in depth. I thought I also might take an opportunity to throw some of my drag racing footage in there from several of the cars that I've built, the last car I built. But this video is gonna be pretty jam-packed with just pictures and videos. I guess I might as well just get into why I did it. For one, micro racing has been something that I wanted to do for a really, really long time. I wanted to do it ever since I was in high school. So that's pretty much a lot of my motivation. A lot of my friends used to do it. I grew up at a dirt track, not only racing micros, but I lived 3 miles from Salina High Bank Speedway. I now currently live about a quarter of a mile from Salina High Bank Speedway. So dirt racing is definitely in my blood, and dirt racing is definitely something that I've always been interested in. As for the reason that I quit drag racing, I think I kind of hit on a little bit in my first video. It was becoming just ridiculously expensive. When you have guys that are spending $150,000 on their cars, I'm a Votech welding instructor. I'm broke. So my budget doesn't quite allow for that type of money. Also, the amount of money that it takes to test and travel all over the country and race on different surfaces and be competitive at a high level in drag racing is crazy. You could spend $40,000, $50,000 a year going to different races if you really wanted to. But the top guys are winning $100,000, $150,000 a year, so it kind of makes up for it. I know I said that I drag race, but I didn't really talk about what kind of drag racing I did. I did a lot of no prep and street racing. So kind of got into the craze, 10, 12 years back when Street Outlaws started. That was kind of a big deal. I was already in drag racing, but I never really street raced a whole. It was just one of those things. Once I got into it, I really got addicted to it.
Is this a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway?
My goal was to build a car on my budget that could still be really, really fast. And I feel like I accomplished that goal. I won a couple of pretty decent sized races. I won Street Car Takeover in Tulsa against some of the fastest in the country. A little bit of luck fell my way, but also my car was really competitive, very consistent that night. And as any type of racing goes, if your car is consistent and it's fairly fast, you're probably gonna win races. The other part of it was spending so much time on that car and not getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. Drag racing is really, really fun, don't get me wrong, and I won't say that I don't miss it, because I do. But the only reason that I don't miss it is because the amount of fun that I'm having now, per the amount of dollars that I'm spending and the amount of time that I'm spending on my car. So I was spending anywhere from, I would probably say 30 hours a week working on the car, and then taking out on a weekend, and you're talking passes, my car went low fives, and was quite capable of running fours. And when you work 40 hours a week to go have, let's say you make it 5 rounds, that's, 25 seconds of enjoyment for all that time that you've put in. And for some people, it's really worth it. And for me, it was worth it for a really long time. I was getting tired of it. My son was born. My wife was getting tired of me working on the car all the time, being gone to races. And it seemed like a no-brainer to me. I had an opportunity to make a lot of money on my car because I am a welder and a fabricator. And I built my car from the ground up. I didn't have a ton of money and labor in it. Obviously, I still had to buy all the parts. One of the biggest parts of a drag car is the chassis, as so as it is in micro racing. But the advantage to that was I spent about 5 years in a race car shop learning how to build race cars. I used that knowledge to build my car. About the only thing that I didn't touch on my old car was the transmission and the machine work on the engine. Everything else was built by me, put together by me. Obviously, I bought a lot of parts and bolted them on, but you know, a lot of fabrication has to be done to fit those parts on. I really enjoyed building the cars, but at a certain point, I was starting to get burnt out chasing something that was probably never going to happen for me. The amount of money that it would have took for me to be as competitive as I wanted to be was just not there. Opportunities for sponsorships in drag racing are much lower than they are in dirt racing. The cars aren't out in front of people for very long, so people that have a lot of money that want to sponsor people, the only people they're sponsoring are literally the 4, 5, 6 fastest guys in the country that are winning a ton of races. That's who those guys want to put their money behind, which I know it's the same way in dirt racing, but your small time guy has an opportunity to gain some sponsorship money to help him out in his racing every year than somebody does in drag racing. So drag racing is a lot about building up your name and your reputation and how fast your car is and how hard you work. And I was definitely doing all those things, but I definitely needed a lot more help to compete at the highest level. I feel like in micro racing, as long as I can learn how to drive and set this car up and gain as much knowledge as I can, I have the car to win races. That's not a problem. So the problem is the loose nut behind the steering wheel. So anyway, I'm gonna try to get into a little bit more of the content with me drag racing and just show it's just all kinds of random videos from when I built the car, when I raced the car, some shenanigans that I did in the car. It was a really fun journey. I was sad to kind of see it come to an end, but at the same time, I was happy to start a new chapter in my racing career and get into micro racing. So I'm gonna quit talking because I know you guys are probably tired of listening to me, and I'm gonna get into the content. Before I do get into the content, I do want to make a little bit of a note. I have been in communication with a couple of guys that do a sports podcast. They just so happened to run across my channel and liked what they saw. They got on my Facebook page, saw what I used to do and what I'm doing now, and they wanted to have an opportunity to talk to me. It was really weird to have somebody say, we would love to have the opportunity to talk to you, because that doesn't happen to me. But apparently they liked what they saw on the channel. I hope you guys are liking what you see on the channel, and I hope you guys are liking and subscribing. And I would love to grow this thing and make it something great. If it doesn't, no big deal. It's a great way for me to vlog all my stuff, and maybe, you know, be able to look back on this. My son can go back and he can watch and he can see how I started my journey. These guys, they're do a podcast, a sports podcast. It's called the TFG. So the TFG wants to have the FNG. I told them that I'd be more than happy to oblige. They're from the East Coast. So I think February 9th, we're going to, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to record with them. And they're just going to kind of ask me about my program and what I do. And they seem like some really fun guys. I've listened to a couple of their podcasts. So if you guys are looking for a podcast of just a couple guys that are just talking about sports and about what they do in their lives, they're both extremely comical and really funny. I enjoyed listening to their stuff. So be looking out for that. I should be, I don't know when it'll air. I know when we're recording it. But if you guys have a chance, go check them out, TFG. Surely you guys can figure out what that stands for. But those expletive guys Surely you guys can figure that out. Check it out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you guys get your podcasts. I'm sure that they're on there. But just a little bit of exciting news about the channel. That is a sign that it's growing. I noticed that the subscriber count is up. One thing that I also noticed is that 99% of the people that are watching my content are not subscribed. So I would love it if you guys would just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get to the content. for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's content, and I hope you guys continue to watch. Just thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and like I said, I hope you enjoy everything that you get to watch. I know I'm not the best at this, being so new at it, but I'm trying to get better, and seeing that my subscriber count's going up and that people continue to watch just lets me know that maybe I am starting to do a little bit better job at this. So hope you guys enjoyed the drag racing stuff today. I know it's a little bit out of the norm, but I just don't really have a whole lot else to do as far as micro racing content stuff goes. But keep checking in. I should have more content coming in here before too long that is a little bit more micro related. The season's about to start. Hopefully we can get through all this cold weather and get into micro racing season. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.